So here we go. Here's my herd hierarchy on a Tuesday.
Herd hierarchy.
Time is now. Let's go.
The top 10 NFL teams according to Colin. Number 10.
I think Tennessee's the best coach team in the league. How do you get the Chiefs in Arrowhead to overtime without a first half and the second half? They're 6-1 in their last 7 games. Their defense is the best in the league on third down. And Derrick Henry, 5 of his last 6 games, is running for 100 yards. And they've done this with a banged-up quarterback spot. This is an incredibly well-coached team. They win ugly. We forget they were the number 1 seed last year. They are physical. They can overcome. I have to put Tennessee in there. 6-3. I've got to put them in there. Tennessee at 10.
Number 9.
What do I do with the Cowboys? Were they exposed? Well, they had 4 penalties on 15 snaps in overtime. Welcome to their reality. They are great at getting to the quarterback and creating pressure. But, and this has to be said, Dak has been atrocious on 3rd and 4th down throws this year. They're not a good situational football team. I don't believe you can win multiple playoff games if you're not great situationally. Kansas City is great situationally. Minnesota this weekend was great situationally. Dallas isn't their 9.
Number 8.
I love the Ravens. I love everything about them. They drive me nuts. Only team in the league to lead by 10-plus points in every game. 8 straight games with at least 150 yards rushing. That hasn't been done since the mid-'80s. They're like Philadelphia, but they've sustained it for years and years. Lamar's a playmaker. They're getting a little healthier, but they've had key injuries. Gus Edwards, Mark Andrews, Rashad Bateman. They're perpetually banged up. But in big games, Lamar and John Harbaugh win a lot of them, and I've got them at 8.
Number 7.
Buffalo. Listen, we like them. They're the knockout artist without a jab and movement. They're a flawed team. Josh Allen leads the NFL with 10 picks and 3 in the red zone. And I think Brian Daboll leaving, this is not Kansas City's offense where they can move off offensive coordinators and you don't really notice. Brian Daboll leaving, this team's not as good in the second half offensively. They're not as good in the red zone. In the last 3 games for Josh Allen, he's not accurate. He's completing 58% of his throws. So again, I always use Mike Tyson, the great fighter with no jab. Tyson was at his best when he had a great trainer and a great corner man. Later in his career, he didn't, and he was just a guy with a big knockout punch. Is that what Buffalo has become? I have him at 7.
Number 6.
The Dolphins. I think they're as real as they're going to be. They're 7-0 and 2 is healthy. I think they have one of the smart young coaches in football. I mean, Tua's touchdown to interception ratio, it's very Drew Brees, which was his comp coming out of college, and I thought it was crazy. He just doesn't throw any interceptions. He's got 3 giveaways all year. So they know what they are. They do it well. And as Buffalo goes into the tank, I think to myself, tomorrow, Buffalo-Miami play, neutral field, I think I'd take Miami. They already beat them once. I don't like what I see from Buffalo in the second half of games. Miami's a well-earned 6.
Number 5.
Cincinnati. I think that's the one team that Kansas City doesn't want to play. Number 1 scoring team in the league since week 6. Joe Burrow's one of 3 quarterbacks completing 70% of his throws. And they're doing that now without Jamar Chase. If Joe Mixon and this O-line can consistently run the football, they could beat the Chiefs at Arrowhead. And I don't think there's many teams that qualify for that. I don't know if Tua could go up there and do it. I don't think Buffalo now could do it. Cincinnati's a handful. And because you can't name 3 of their defensive players, we overlook them. It's a real defense. Like second half, good luck scoring on them.
Number 4.
Vikings. They're getting a little bit of Philadelphia where they're winning the turnover battle a lot, and that stuff usually has a ceiling. But we've got to be realistic here. They're 8-1. They're winning close games. We're talking about Brian Daboll. How about that coach? The tall Sean McVay, they've been terrific situationally. Now, I don't think their defense is great. They have generated a pass rush in key spots, but I still think there are limitations. They're the kind of team that you could score on quickly over the top, I feel like. They could outplay you and you could beat them, but right now they're winning the close ones. They're at 4.
Number 3.
I love the Niners. I think it's the most talented team in the league. Number 1 total defense, number 2 in yardage differential, held each of their last 2 opponents scoreless in the second half. They have a Pro Bowl level player in every single unit on the field. And they're getting guys back. Elijah Mitchell, running back. Deebo Samuel. They got their fullback back. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo is not the kind of guy that's going to bring you back from 17 down, but they have not lost a game when he hasn't had a pick. There is a way they have to play to win, but physically, they're really good. I got them at 3.
Number 2.
Philadelphia at 2. I don't feel different about Philadelphia today. I just think it illuminates the truth that if they don't win the turnover battle and they're trailing in the second half, they're not Kansas City. It's a very good football team. They're not going anywhere. To J-Mac's point, they lost a crucial interior defender, and now teams are running on them. But they're only team in the league, top 5 offense and top 5 defense, and I don't have any real criticism other than eventually teams like Philly and Minnesota don't win the turnover battle every game.
Number 1.
I mean, Kansas City. I mean, here's how good Kansas City is. They're 27th in turnover differential, -4, and they're still the best team in the league. Patrick Mahomes has thrown a touchdown to 10 different receivers. To tell you how, when you get the perfect combination of superstar coach, superstar quarterback, you're losing the turnover battle. You had to rebuild the defense 3 years ago, the O-line 2 years ago, the wide receiver room this year, and it doesn't affect them at all. We're looking at arguably the most talented quarterback ever, arguably after Bill Walsh, the smartest offensive coach ever. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.